Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the founder and lead investigator with Deep Woods Paranormal. My wife and I, along with others, investigate everything paranormal in nature. Every week, we will discuss everything from creepy haunted locations to ghosts to Bigfoot, UFOs, Dogman, and other cryptid creatures, and explore all things paranormal in nature. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. Last week we were talking to Laura about her UFO experiences and alien abductions. So I just want to alert parents that if you have a child present, we got a tail in our way here. We got a cat up in our screen. But if you have a child present and you're listening to this audibly or you're watching the video podcast, parental discretion is advised. We're going to try and keep this as PG as we can, but I don't want anybody to be afraid of our podcasts or hear something that scares them or anything like that. We always try and keep this as even keeled as we can. So I just want to advise parents that if you have any kids listening that might not want to hear what Laura has to say, you might want to usher them out of the room, okay? So I just want to make sure that disclaimer's out there, and make sure that we're not scaring any little kids or anybody, period. If you guys are afraid of UFOs or aliens or anything like that, you might want to turn this podcast off. All right, so let's continue. Last time we were asking Laura where everything kind of started for her. Where she originally saw or experienced her first alien abduction and stuff like that, and what happened, and she kind of went through that. And we were starting to just talking about did her family, has it run in her family, has she had any contact with her siblings and talked to them about them having any experiences. And she was saying her brother possibly had one with her, and but she doesn't think anybody else had any experiences. So with that, let's let Laura come back on and continue to tell her story. So Laura, you there?
Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Hi.
I wanted to add to what I had told you when I was 2 years old being abducted. I used to see red, yellow, and orange lights in the window.
Wow.
Which is significant because I would see these lights throughout my life, but I didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
And it's very significant to the abduction I had at my older sister's, because I saw these lights again. For some reason, before the abduction happened, I was sitting on the edge of my bed, and I said in my head, I better not see red, orange, yellow lights. And I turned my head, and I saw red, orange, yellow lights. And I was like, oh my God. Are you kidding me? I don't even know why I thought that.
Huh.
Because I didn't know anything at that point. Until after that abduction ended. But going back to my childhood, the guy was telling my nephew, this was on another podcast, my first podcast. I remember I had a presence around me when I was a child, and it felt like it was God or something. I don't know how to explain this. This went on from 2 to like 5 or 6. And I never told my parents about it. I don't know why. I would feel this strong presence. It went in every room I went in. It followed me to every room because I could feel it around me. It felt like God was around me, or angels, or I never saw anything, but I felt something.
Did the hair stand up on your arms or anything?
No, it didn't make me scared. It actually comforted me and made me feel good.
Okay, well, can you describe that a little bit more? Give us a little bit more details. What was it like a warm sensation? Was it a cold sensation? Was there any kind of sensations besides just feeling good?
I'd say it was warm. And it was like always like if I was sitting on a chair, it would be in front of me, like around me, but I don't understand why nobody else felt this.
I feel that from time to time. So that's why I'm curious Yeah, that's why I'm curious to ask, because I experienced that the first time when my Uncle Bill had passed. And that happened to me. I saw something in the other room. Then I got these warm, like I'm getting goosebumps right now. I got this warm sensation, and it was, like you said, very comforting, made me feel good. But also, it came with a message, let them know that he's okay. And my parents, because they were sitting in the same room when the call came in, and I could see my dad, and he was just getting all teary-eyed, and we knew he was going to pass. But anyways, so you're experiencing the same kind of thing. So that's very interesting to me. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, that's what happened there, and I never told anybody, probably because I was too little. I didn't know what it was.
Did that happen to you just that one time, or has it happened to you since?
No, that only happened to me from maybe 2 to age 5 or 6.
So it happened,
and then after that,
did it happen a lot, or did it just happen every once in a while, or?
Yes, it happened a lot.
Oh.
I don't know if it was daily, if it was every 2-3 days, but I remember that clearly.
Did you ever see any spirits or anything like that at that point? Any ghosts?
No, I never saw any ghosts when I was little.
Did you feel anything? Could you like hear whispering or anything like that?
No, I didn't see anything. I didn't hear no voices.
Okay.
I just felt this presence, and it was warm, and it felt like it was God, like God was giving me a hug or something.
Yeah.
Very, very pleasant.
Cool.
Very nice.
All right.
But wish would have lasted longer.
Yeah.
This was when we moved from West 65th to West 48th.
And you're still in Illinois?
No, we were in Cleveland, Ohio.
I'm sorry, Ohio. Okay.
We moved to, this is, things started happening when we moved to West 48th. So.
Can you describe that town a little bit for people that don't know what West 48th is? Is that a little town? Is that a big town? Is it a city?
Oh, yeah. Cleveland, Ohio is a city.
Okay.
Big city in Cleveland. Yeah.
Is it a suburb of Cleveland, or is it in downtown Cleveland?
No, it's a big city.
Okay.
It's a suburb. So after this happened, we were upstairs. We had 2 bedrooms up there, but the one bedroom my brother and sister baby sister slept in, and the other bedroom was me and my older sister slept in. And I don't remember anything happening when I was in the bedroom with my older sister. Things could have been happening because I would wake up and I would be so tired going to school and can't figure out why am I so, many nights I felt like I didn't get any sleep. I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep in school. But anyway, there were five of us at this point. We had a playroom, and my sister, after me, Lynn, used to sleep in the playroom, and she was only like 2 or 3. Okay, and this is when we started doing the Ouija board. I think we started doing it, I don't know how, from 4 to like 8 or 9. We did it for like, oh my God, 6-7 years messing around with this thing. But anyway, my sister lives in the playroom, and my mom never believed anything we said to us, so I never said too much to her as a child. She'd laugh at us. I don't know why, but my sister Lynn told my mom, she used to say this over and over. She said this for a while. I don't know how many months went by. She told my mom, she said, "Mom, there's ghosts in the playroom." And I said, "What are you talking about? This kid's only like 3." And I could tell she was terrified to sleep in this playroom at night. And she said she had to be seeing ghosts. She had to be seeing something, because she told my mom this. My mom laughed. And I'm thinking, when we did the Ouija board, my mom told us that there were no such thing as ghosts, because we didn't know what we were doing or who we were talking to, because we were just kids. But after the years, she admitted that we were talking to ghosts, but that's when we cut off doing the Ouija board. We said, we're not doing this no more, because she lied to us. But Lynn says, there's ghosts in the playroom, and I don't want to sleep in the playroom anymore, because she was, I mean, this kid was our nervous wreck.
Wow.
And my mom said, "Okay, one of you kids have to switch with your sister." And I was like, "Oh, no. Don't even take me to sleep in that playroom." And guess who? Yours truly gets to switch. So she went into the bedroom with my older sister Joanne, and my mom said, because my brother and my young baby sister would go in a playroom. Because she said there were ghosts in there now, and then I started to be a little bit nervous, and I was like, oh no. So she goes in the playroom. She's all happy. I mean, she went into the bedroom, and I went up to the playroom, and I didn't even have a bed. I slept on a cot. We didn't. I mean, we were that poor. We didn't have money to buy me a bed.
Right.
So yours truly is out in this playroom. How old was I? Me and her 2 years apart. So I'd be like 5, I think.
Wow.
She was 3. She was real little. But when I was in this playroom, she was right. There was something in the playroom, but I believe it was aliens. It was not. Maybe she saw ghosts. I don't know. She saw. I know she saw something, but my mom didn't ask her what she saw. I didn't ask her either. But when I was sleeping in this playroom, I would, in the middle of the night, at around 2 or 3, the atmosphere would change. And I told my baby sister this. I said, I kid you not, there was something in that playroom. It scared me to death. I said, I would sleep with the blanket over my head. I said, this is how terrified I was. Mm-hmm. She said, you slept like that? I said, yeah, because around the middle of the night, the atmosphere in the playroom would change. I said, there was something in the playroom, and I didn't want to see what it was. You know, I was...
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I was so scared. But I told my younger sister, baby sister, her name's Gail, I said, I would hear things in the closet. The closet was right in front of me, but the doors were closed. And I said, I would hear stuff in that closet. And she said, I would hear stuff in that playroom closet too. I said, you heard it too? And she said, yes. I think the aliens were in the closet. She said,
oh my gosh.
They were there too. I know. I said, I didn't know you heard anything. She said, yeah, I would hear stuff all the time. I said, I would too. Like every 2 or 3 days, I would hear like shuffling in the closet. And I said, oh my God, I bet they were in there. And I said, well, this one time, we had this fire along the chimney. The chimney was by the steps that would go, you know, it was like brick and it would go up. It was the chimney, you know, to the roof or whatever. Uh-huh. And I said, the one time I saw this bright white spotlight on the chimney the one night, and I didn't know what that was. And she said, I saw the same thing too one time. I said, you did? I said, oh my God, Gail, are you kidding me? Wow. And she said, no, I saw it one time she was going to go to the bathroom, and she said, nope, she turned around right back. She said she was so scared. She didn't know what that. I said, I don't know what that was either. I said, what? I said, they had to be in the house. I said, they had to be. I didn't see anybody in the playroom. I said, maybe they were downstairs with our parents. I said, something had to be going on with somebody.
Oh, wow.
They weren't in the 2 bedrooms. So, well, that's it for the playroom. I would never see anything because either I had a blanket over my head or I was asleep. They could have been taking me easily, and you know, I wouldn't have known about it because I was little. But then, when I got older, this is way older. We had a spare bedroom downstairs. I don't know why. I didn't get to the spare bedroom downstairs till I was like 12. Wow. I slept in this playroom for years. Anyway, that's when more things started happening. When I went downstairs, they would take me, and I told my baby sister this, I said they would drop me off in the kitchen because this is like 3 or 4 nights a week. This was happening a lot. But many times I don't remember them taking me. I don't remember being taken. I remember being dropped off because I was always in the kitchen. I'd be standing in the kitchen in the middle of the night. I don't know what time it was, 4 or 5 in the morning.
Right.
And I'd stand there and I'd be like, I'd wake up and then I think, how did I get in the kitchen? What am I doing in the kitchen? I thought I was in my bed.
Right.
And where they would drop me off, I would be standing. Okay, I'm standing here. The stove is on the left-hand side to me, right? And the bathroom is on the right-hand side. But I know I didn't come out of the bathroom because the way the bathroom was, you had to walk on an angle to go into the next room was the dining room in front of me. You had to walk catty-corner from the bathroom to come, and I would be just standing there. So I know I didn't come out of that bathroom. because you had to walk sideways. You had to walk on an angle you had to walk sideways to go into the dining room because the way the bathroom was positioned. But I would be dropped off. I told Gail, I said, that was a dead giveaway right there. They dropped me off 3 or 4 times a week, and I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Right.
So that happened frequently. Okay. The next thing that happened, this is downstairs. I would have, this is something that everybody saw. I had these red lights around my window where my bedroom was. My window was facing the porch in the street. You could see, I had a small bedroom, but the window was, I had one window in the front, and I would have red lights, 2 at the top of my window, 2 at the right and left hand side, and everybody saw this. My brothers, my siblings saw it, and my mom. And I called my mom in my room. I'm like, Mom, what are those lights around my window? She's like, those aren't lights around your window. Those are lights from a car. And I said, Mom, there's no car coming down the street. What are you talking about? Back then, cars had red lights in front of with their headlights.
Yeah.
They had red and yellow lights. They don't make cars like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Back then they did. And I said, Mom, there's no cars coming down the street. So why are you telling me this is from a car? There aren't any cars around.
Right.
And then I had my brother. I was like, Willie, what are these lights? Explain these lights to me. He's like, I don't know. And I asked my other sisters, like, do you know what these lights are? I'm like, what the heck is that? I mean, I would see these lights. I say at least 2-3 times a week. And it was really strange. And I told my baby sister, she said, what happened with those lights when you went to bed? I said, well, what I would do is I would sit up in my bed and I would sit there and I would stare at them till I fell asleep. And she said, that's strange. I said, yeah, I think I was being hypnotized or something. I don't remember anything ever happening to me. I don't remember anybody taking me. I would just sit there and stare at these lights till I fell asleep.
Yeah. Now, was this always the same alien taking you, or was it different aliens?
Okay. I have to tell you about another incident that happened. I want to say they were the same ones, but as I got older, I started to see the gray aliens. I didn't see the white, pale. I did see them once on another abduction. Anyway, this one incident, sometimes I would hear something in my closet in my bedroom. I don't know if they were in my closet. Could have been. I don't know. I had a small closet. But the one morning, I woke up and I was facing the wall. And, my mom yelled to me. She used to yell to get up. She's like, Laura, it's time to get up for school, 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Her bedroom was off to the dining room, which was the room before mine. My mom and dad's bedroom was off to the dining room, and then my room was off to the living room. Okay, so you have my bedroom and the living room to the left, and then you have the front door to the porch from the living room. So anyway, I wake up and I turn my head. I was facing the wall. I turned my head, and this is sad what happened. I see this thing standing by my. I had these Venetian doors that folded. I don't know what I'm talking about. They were like they would fold. They were like plastic. And I didn't have like a real door to my room. I saw this thing standing there, and I'm looking, and I thought I was dreaming, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And it was a darn alien. It was about 3 feet tall, classic alien. It was a gray. It wasn't pale white. And I'm looking at this thing, and my mom was yelling at me, time to get up, and it scared this alien because I saw it shake. Its body shook like it got scared, like it shivered or something. And I'm looking, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And I thought, must be dreaming. And this thing turns around and it opens up my folding doors I had. It had to open it on each side.
Mm-hmm.
And it opened the doors and it ran out the front door. Back then, people kept their doors unlocked in the 70s. The door was not locked. Nobody locked their doors till the late 70s.
Huh.
Because everybody trusted each other till crime soared. Right. So this thing runs out the door and it banged the door behind it. Huge mistake. My mom come flying out of her room and she said, "Who went out the front door?"
Uh-oh.
And I said, "I don't know." Because I thought I was dreaming, but I just saw it. I'm thinking, why did I tell her I saw this thing? I never told her I saw it. And she said, "Did your brother or sisters come downstairs and go out the front door?" And I said, "No, they're all sleeping. They're upstairs all sleeping." And she's like, that didn't make any sense to her. And she said, "I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go outside on the porch and see who that was." Yeah. What that was. And I was like, okay, I didn't see anything. I didn't, Jesus, stupid me. I wish I would have told her.
You sound like the government. Deny.
Yeah. Well, back when I was a child, I thought it was everything that happened to me as a child. I thought it was a dream.
Yeah.
And she goes out and get this match. She goes out on the porch. This is 6:00 in the morning. She goes out to her. She was just on the porch, and we had, our driveway was to the right, so she could look. She could look at the driveway to the right, and she could look down the driveway. She goes out on the porch, and she looks down our driveway. She had to turn to look down the driveway, blood-curdling scream, and she says, "Alien!" And I was like, what? I'm surprised she didn't wake the whole neighborhood up. This is what I remember. This is what came out of her mouth.
Wow.
And she screamed, "Alien!" And I was like, what are you doing? She come back in the house and she was terrified. She was shaking and I never saw my mom like that.
Wow.
Never. She come back in the house and she said, "Where did that thing come from?" And I said, "What thing?" She said, "That was an alien." I said, "What do you mean alien?" She said, "Those things that fly, the UFOs." And I was like, what? She said, "Where did that come from?" She said, "That had to be in our house because it went out the door."
Wow.
And I said, what are you talking about? I said, "Wait a minute. You're telling me that an alien from a UFO was in our house and it ran out of our door?" She said it had to, because you were in your room, she was in her room, and everybody upstairs was sleeping. She said somebody slammed that door, and she said she saw an alien run down our driveway.
Oh my gosh.
I said, "Oh my God, what are you talking about?" And what is sad, I asked, because I didn't know what she was talking about, and I said, "What do you mean?" I said, what do they look? I didn't know what they look like, and she wouldn't explain to me what they looked like. I wish she would have. I said, "What do they look like?" I said, because I was like, I don't know. I told her I didn't see anything, but I did. But I thought it was dreaming. And I had forgotten about it. As soon as I saw it that quick, I forgot that I had saw it, which is pretty sad. Because she couldn't figure out. She's like, "What's it doing in our house? What's it, what she was just, she's like, what's it?
Right.
Why is it in our house? What's it doing here?" I said, "I don't know. If it's from another planet, what is it doing in our, what does it want with us? What's it doing in our house?" Yeah. And I said, "I don't know." And she should have put two and two together. It's either doing something with me or doing something with my parents.
Right.
Because it was downstairs. But I remember that day, I still remember this, that day after I came home from school, and I remember my mom, she was sitting at the dining room table, and I was like, "Mom, what's wrong?" She was a nervous wreck. She's sitting there, I could tell. I said, "Oh, it's from that alien thing you saw this morning." She was sitting there shaking, nervous. I could tell she was never like that. You know what I mean? She was this edgy, and she wouldn't talk very much. And I could tell she was trying to figure out all day
what she saw. What did she see?
What that thing was doing in our house is what she wanted to know.
Right.
And I don't know, but it gets better. After this incident, this alien did not leave.
It didn't? Really?
No. We had. I'm guessing it was the same year that this happened. In the morning, this is really strange. We would hear in our backyard behind our garage. We had our garbage cans. Back then, garbage cans were made of aluminum. They're metal, and we had small garbage cans. We had 3 of them. Every morning, I don't know if this went on just at least 2 months. This went on almost 3 months. Every morning there would be somebody in our backyard banging the lid. Everything was metal. The lid and the garbage cans. Someone would be banging the lids on our garbage cans. This went on forever, Matt. This went on at least, I don't know, like I said, 2.5, 3 months. I don't know. And my mom would tell my brother to go out there and see who's messing with the garbage cans. I'm like, who's messing with the garbage cans at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
She wouldn't go out there because I think she knew she was too scared. My brother would come back in. One time he tried to get me to go out with him, and I wouldn't. I wish I would have. But it doesn't matter. It gets better. He come back in the house and he said, Mom, there's an old man banging the garbage cans back there. And we're like, what do you mean an old man?
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, what do you mean an old man back there? I said, Mom, why don't you go back there and see who that man is? Why does he keep doing this almost every day, banging the garbage cans for the past 2 months?
Wow.
You know, what the heck's going on? Anyway, the one time she told me and my older sister Joanne to go out to the garbage cans and see what's going on. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad I did, but I don't know why she sent me and Joanne. Maybe my brother wasn't around. We were, I was a little bit older now. I think I was 10, 11, because she was older than me. She's 2 years older than me, so she had to be 12, 13. We go back to our garage. We had to go around the garage, turn the corner to where the garbage cans were. We go to the back, and I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, I hope I don't see anything. Matt, we go back to where the garbage cans are, and we had an alley behind our house. There was an alley there with a small, short, like wire fence, which is adds to the story. Anyway, we turn the corner, and I see this alien standing there, about 3 feet tall, classic alien, skinny, big, huge eyes, huge head, classic. Didn't look like it had a mouth or ears, and we're I was literally, Matt, about 3 steps away from it.
Wow.
And my sister was over to the left. She was more like 7, 8 steps, and she stopped right where we turned the corner, where the end of the garage ended by that corner. We're standing there, and I'm looking at this, and I thought it was a kid. And I said, hey, kid, what are you doing? Why do you keep banging the garbage can lid? I was talking to her. Joanne wasn't. I said, why do you keep banging the garbage can lids? You know, what the heck? What are you doing? What's going on? Then this thing in front of us morphed into an old man. I saw this alien. Then I saw this tall, old manish type thing, and then it morphed back into an alien. So they can morph they can shapeshift or whatever you call that.
Crazy.
And I'm looking at it, and when we went back into the house, we told my mom that we saw an old man, because I thought I saw an old man. I didn't know what the alien thing was. I didn't know what it was, and it didn't say anything. It didn't make a sound. Weird. It kind of looked at us like sheepishly. I think it was a little scared. And after, I don't know how long we stood there, maybe under 5 minutes, this thing turned around and it ran and it jumped over. Remember that wire fence I was telling you about?
Yes.
This is the first time I saw one of them run. It ran and it jumped. I saw it like almost flew.
How high did it jump?
Huh?
How high did it jump?
Maybe 2 feet. It just jumped over this short wire-like fence.
Oh, okay.
It didn't jump very
I was going to
far,
say, they're probably not very big. So I mean, I just wondered if it.
It jumped over the fence, and it landed in the alley, and then it started to run. I mean, this alley was a very long alley. I don't know when it ended. I don't know where this thing went either. I'm thinking, where's this thing going?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe this alien was stranded for 2 months. Why didn't they come back and get it?
I've heard stories of them basically living on this planet, and there's underground bases and stuff like that. So.
Oh yes, I believe they are. I believe there's alien-human mix of. Well, I have other good stories. You have to hear. Yes, I believe that they are. I believe they've been here since the beginning of time too.
Possibly.
And they've been invading. This planet is being invaded. I mean, there's not going to be a big, huge invasion like everybody's thinking. They're everywhere. So they're invading this planet now. They're everywhere. So we are being invaded. I mean, we're not going to see 1 million UFOs in the sky one day or something like that's going to be the invasion. No, they're doing it subtly, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, well, I've been close to these aliens before. I mean, I was like 3 steps. I wish I would have went up to it and touched it or something, but I was too scared. So that's the end of that. That went on for I don't know how many months. That was crazy till it finally ended. But I'm wondering if this alien was in our house at night this whole time. I'm thinking it was.
Crazy.
Why it was I don't know.
Or maybe it was visiting every night or something, just kind of checking on you.
Yeah.
That's strange for sure.
I don't understand. Now, this other incident I want to tell you about, this classmate I had when I was in school. Oh, when I was in school, I forgot, when I was in first grade, I had an out-of-body experience in school. I was probably first grade 5. It's the only out-of-body experience I've ever had. I told my sister, Lynn, too, the one who was born after me. I told her, I said, what do you think that was? I came out of my body, and I was literally on the ceiling, right where the light was, in the middle of the ceiling. I was hanging there all day. I told her I was up on the ceiling. I said, I don't know what that was, and I could see my body at the desk, but I couldn't feel my body. I could see everybody. Nobody saw me. I said I was up on this ceiling. I kid you not. I told her. She believed me, too. I said, what do you think that was? She said, I don't know. I said, do you think it was an out-of-body experience? I said, I was only like maybe 5 or 6.
Wow.
And then I was screaming. I was yelling, too, like, someone get me down from here. Nobody heard me. And I was like, oh, my God. I was so scared because I was up in the air, you know. And then finally, at the end of the day, I don't know how long I was hanging there. I shot down to my body. I don't know how. I shot down to my body, got back in my body, and then I finally felt my body because I couldn't feel my body when I was up in the air. But I have no idea I don't know how that happened. That's all I remember with that. I don't remember anything else happening with that incident. And I didn't tell anybody about it either again. I don't know. That was really strange. That was bizarre. Then, okay, let me tell you this one real quick. Some of these are kind of short. When I was, again, this was at home. I was, I don't know, 5 or 6. Used to go outside playing in the driveway. We had a small yard in the back to the right, and then the driveway was to the left. And I was in the driveway. I remember I was crouched down facing the street. Okay, I'm facing the street. I have my back to the sky and the clouds. All of a sudden, I get this feeling that somebody's watching me from the sky. All of a sudden, I got all nervous, and I got, I don't know, I was scared. And I turned around real quick, and there was one cloud there, and I didn't see anything. And I stood there probably for a good minute, and I was like, no, there's something by that cloud. Because I had this feeling, somebody was watching me. This is during the day. I go in the house, and I said, Mom, somebody's watching me from the sky. I said, something's watching me. out there from the sky. And she said, oh, there's nothing watching. She never believed anything we said. And I said, yes, there's something watching me. There was something watching me out there. And she's like, oh, ha, ha, ha. No, there was. It's just your imagination. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I got this, the creeps all over my body. All of a sudden I got scared and I got nervous. And I was like, I'm going to the house. And, well, that was it with that incident.
Huh.
But what makes me really mad is my mom never believed anything that we said. And I had told her as I got a little bit older, when I went downstairs and got my own bedroom, the one day she was sitting on the sofa and I was at the end, we had this small end table and I was sitting there drawing or coloring or something, and out of the blue I said, hey Mom, you know that there's these things, they look like ant people. I told her I was seeing things that look like ant people, and she's like, what are you talking about? I said, they look like ants. I was talking about the aliens. Wow. And she laughed again, and she said, oh, there's no such thing as ant people. I said, yes, there is. I said, there's these things, they look like ant people. That's what I was doing. One time I was trying to tell her. I don't know, this idea came out of nowhere. And I also said at the same time, I said, you know, there's vehicles in the sky that can zip. I said, they move like a triangle. They can zip from here to there in seconds. And she said, oh, there's nothing like that. I was talking about the UFOs, and she knew about UFOs. And she's sitting there telling me, we don't have anything that can move real quick like that. I said, well, there's vehicles in the sky. They move real quick. They move real fast. And she's like, oh, no, ha, 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 there's no such thing. And I'm thinking, yes, there is. I don't know where that idea came from. Because at that point, I didn't see a UFO. But for some reason, I had to see something somewhere.
Yeah.
I had that idea. I don't know. That came out of nowhere. And she, laughed it off, or brushed it off.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't know why she did that.
Maybe nervousness. I mean, if somebody came to me and I wasn't a believer in the paranormal, honestly, I would probably go, okay, you've been smoking. What have you been smoking or whatever? I mean, I might doubt somebody too at first. I mean, it goes back to Bigfoot research. I didn't believe in Bigfoot until I actually had an encounter. And I always tell people, you have to have your own experience before you can say, that really exists. If I hadn't seen UFOs, I might be a little sketchy on that, and think, okay, maybe this is real, maybe it's not.
But why would you make it up?
Well, I mean, people make up stuff now to basically sound cool, especially with the paranormal becoming such a popular thing, and the majority, the people that really don't say anything, like you and stuff like that have really had experiences, don't normally come forward. I mean, I think at some point, people like us that have had experiences with the paranormal, at some point, do finally start to come forward. I mean, it took me about 18 years. And somebody said, you got to start a podcast. And I'm like, I rolled my eyes and went, I don't know about that. I don't really want to share my experiences. Like, no, you need to share your experiences. It's therapeutic. It helps you, tell your story and get your story out there and let people who also might be experiencing the same things as you. What the heck? Something's playing with the light behind me.
I decided to do this after my brother died last year, and I never told him I was abducting. My daughter said, you should have told him because he would have believed you and he would have been interested in hearing my stories. I said, yes, I'm sorry I didn't tell. But I was thinking, you know what? I hit 62. I was like, no, I need to start telling somebody because I have too many good stories. I said, no, I need to start telling somebody needs to know or hear something,
Yeah, I'm
life
laughing.
is short, and who knows when you're going to die? You never know.
I'm laughing because the light behind me on the bookshelf is flickering on and off. It's motion sensor, so something, and it's facing the bookshelf. It's not facing out, so something is literally setting it off over on the bookshelf. One of the little kids are like, oh, look at this.
Strange.
The ghosts. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. It's getting a little long. It's almost 40 minutes in, but we'll continue with Laura, and we'll continue to have her tell her stories. This is gonna be a whole series, guys. I'm not sure if I'm gonna just pull it aside and make a completely different podcast, or if I'm gonna just keep it with a regular podcast, and you guys can essentially go back and listen to it or watch it if you're on YouTube or Rumble. We'll put this out for you guys, and then different parts of this interview will continue to come out throughout time. And as we continue to talk to Laura and hear her stories, you guys will be able to continue to watch the series, if you will. But anyways, Laura, I got to go, and we'll catch you guys on the next one, okay? It was nice talking to you.
Okay, you too.